Attention please. This uploading is only for educational purpose. No intention to infringe copyrights. Learning English with subtitles. GPITRAL. Follow us.
Although all the primates at the park love their enclosures, sometimes they have to be persuaded to go outside. At Hananya's house, the chimps have decided it's too cold to go out.
It's really good to do different things at this time of year. It's winter now, weather's not great, it's cold. Because it's cold, they tend to spend more time inside. You get a bit agitated when you've got nothing to do. So yeah, we've just gathered a whole load of different sized empty boxes. We're going to put them in the outside enclosure. Maybe put a few treats hidden in there just to encourage them to play, see what they do.
It doesn't take long for Hananya and the gang to realise it might be worth braving the cold.
Chimps emerge from the bedroom.
And there's a mad scramble for the boxes.
The chimps head towards the boxes, which are stacked together.
Being the leader, Hananya decides to pull rank and puts on a pretty impressive display to remind the others who's boss.
Hananya crashes through the boxes, sending them flying everywhere.
Shamak, who's never far from the boss's side, has also got straight down to business.
He sticks his head into a box.
To everyone's surprise, females Cookie and Zeynep have got in on the action. They're fairly low-ranking, so would normally have waited a while. Baby Thelma is enjoying the boxes too, although she's not being as adventurous as normal.
Thelma seems to be sticking quite close to Cherry this morning. Most of the time she is off and about exploring. She's been more independent, moving around on her own. This morning, though, she seems to have spent a lot of time on Cherry. I think it's a little bit chilly, so she wants to keep her hands and feet warm. Since we've had Thelma, the group dynamics have changed slightly. We're noticing Cookie is a bit closer to Cherry and Thelma and that group. She's spending a lot of time. I think she's being quite political about things. But she does like to hang out with Hananya quite often as well.
Hananya is having a great time with the boxes. Being the leader, he's often too busy to chill out.
As dominant male, it's his job to look after the group, so quite often he's in a serious mood. He has to make sure everybody's behaving themselves. Every so often he lets his hair down and he has a bit of fun, and it's really good to see because he is a really nice chimp. He particularly likes to play with Shamak, sometimes Simon and Arthur as well, having a boys' game.
Hananya and Shamak mess around with a torn box.
Low-ranking Arthur is having lots of fun with Jess. They've always been close, but since Thelma's arrival, he's been a bit distracted with the youngster. Cherry has decided to entertain Thelma on the high-hos. She's always been a daredevil. Who knows, maybe Thelma will follow in her footsteps.
With Thelma hanging on, Cherry loses her footing and clings to the hose with her hands.
Unlike Thelma, over at the Orang nursery, Bulu and Rika are proving to be quite a handful.
Rika lies on her back playing with an overhead mobile. Keeper Kate prepares a feed whilst holding Bulu.
Kate is in charge of all the nursery orangs today, so Bulu and Rika are going to have to entertain themselves for a while.
So I've got to medicate some people, so you've got to play with this.
But Kate isn't taking any chances. Rika is safely in the baby tunnel, and Bulu is in the playroom.
If I need to go away and do something which I need to now, I need him to be safe and I need her to be safe, so that's why it's shut.
The orangs, including Jin, Oshin, and Sylvester, are fascinated by these newcomers. The team feel it's important for Bulu and Rika to be around others of their own kind. They don't want them to become too human-focused, despite being hand-reared. Bulu doesn't feel he's getting enough attention.
Ooh. Needs his nappy changed.
Kate carries Bulu off while Rika sleeps.
He's usually crazy in there. He loves it in there, but They've been staying at the hand rearing house for a couple of days, so he's got lots of cuddles the last couple of days. He's a little bit clingy.
Bulu is teething, so that could explain why he's unsettled.
His second tooth is coming through there. The second one is just there.
The team are keen for Bulu and Rika not to become attached to any one person, so there's a team of 4 caring for them 24/7.
Hand rearing for a whole year is a big commitment, and it can be up to that. So, yeah, you've got your work cut out, basically.
Bulu is already on solids, despite his lack of teeth.
Your favourite, isn't it? Banana. Bulu's having baby rice, which is made with milk, and then some mashed banana as well, mixed together. He has tried to feed himself, but very unsuccessfully. But it's quite good to let them suck things and to let them suck their hands and things like that, because it does strengthen the swallow reflex. And obviously it's good when you're trying to wean them onto solids from liquids. But it's just obviously, it's very messy. Not that you mind that.
Like all babies, Bulu and Rika need constant stimulation, so it's time for a play session. But Bulu needs to be watched.
Oh, you're pulling her hair, stop.
Rika's far less mobile and can be in the firing line.
This is why we don't leave them unattended.
Kate keeps hold of Bulu.
Isn't it, Bulu? Because you're a hooligan. Rika's not on the move, so she won't be able to do anything that could tell him to go away if he fell on her or anything like that. That's why we have to watch them. But she is turning over, but she's still yet to turn back over. There is a big difference now between the size of them. I think we didn't appreciate that with him until little Rika came, because she was so much smaller. He's definitely grown a lot in a very short space of time, because he seemed to be small forever, and then all of a sudden he's just sort of made a real giant leap.
All arms and legs, Bulu attempts to pull himself up on a climbing hose.
Once Kai, Jin, Sylvester and the other nursery orangs are fed and watered, there's just time to pop into the park's hospital to carry out a few checks on the babies before they go home for the night.
4.68.
Bulu is weighed.
Bulu and Rika are just 2 of many new arrivals to the park in the last year. As well as Flo, Kurt and Friedrich, there's also been Hawkeye and Pakaya. And a brand new marmoset house has had to be built to cope with the growing number of these small monkeys, which the team are having to rescue from the British pet trade. Baby Leo was only 4 months old when he was brought to the park, and he was the worst case they'd ever seen.
One little slip, one tiny little fall, and he'd shatter into a million pieces.
But with a lot of TLC and a proper diet, he's thrived, and is now living with new friends Sammy and Fred. There was also Buddy the Loris, who Alison rescued from the Maldives.
Hello, my friend.
Back in Dorset, he was renamed Callow, but DNA tests then showed he was actually a she. With her new name, Canbullo, she went to live at Sheldon Zoo with a Loris called Doris. There've been a number of babies this year. Cherry had twins. Sadly, Louise died shortly after she was born from a hole in the heart. But Thelma is thriving.
Thelma plays in the enclosure.
And the woolly monkeys had a baby boom with 4 new additions. This is great news for the highly endangered captive population. Friendships have continued to blossom, some more unlikely than others. And a love story has been unfolding between newly paired golden-cheeked gibbons Kim and Tien, who have finally cracked their duet. Sadly, Bart lost his mum Susie, but Dad Paddy stepped into the breach, and the cheeky chimp is back causing as much mischief as ever.
Bart tumbles onto the grass.
As is young Rodders, who continues to wind up Lulu, while Brian is still trying to prove he's that big man in Sally's group.
Brian displays, slapping his palms on the roof of a tunnel.
These primates are the lucky ones. They've been given a safe haven to live out their days. But the team know their mission is far from over. While there are monkeys and apes who need their help, their work will go on.
Tiny Thelma pokes her finger towards a gorse bush. A graphic reads, "In memory of Jim Cronin, MBE." The end.
The locals begin to share each other's dreams. Ever had the one with Justin Bieber, a wheel of cheese and a spoon? No? Okay. And pinch me to make sure I'm not dreaming. Monkey Life returns with brand new episodes Sunday at 6 on Pig.